Welcome to Live Your Way Thin website. If you're watching this video, I assume you're interested in losing weight and getting in shape. And if I had to guess, you are having some challenges with achieving your fitness goals or maintaining your fitness goals once you achieve them. If that is the case, you're not alone. The vast majority of people struggle to lose weight and get in shape with the current methods of weight loss. And over 95% of the people who manage to lose weight end up regaining the weight back. So, I want to give you a heads up. What you will hear in this video will contradict many popular advice on weight loss and health. I'm not going to ask you to change any of your beliefs. All I'm going to do is ask you to watch this video to the end and watch it with an open mind and come to your own conclusions. Think about it. If you do a Google search under weight loss products, you will literally get millions of results. Have you ever wondered why so many people struggle to lose weight and keep it off with all these weight loss programs on the market today? Why obesity is getting worse and worse every year in spite of the fact that we spend more and more money on weight loss products and services every single year? Just to give you an idea, in 1992, that's the year I got into the fitness field, the obesity rate was 12.6%. And that year we spent $30 billion on weight loss products and services. Today, the obesity rate is over 40%. And the last time I checked, we're spending over $70 billion per year on weight loss products and services. Obviously, something is not working. According to a March 2023 report from the World Obesity Atlas, more than half of the global population, 51% to be exact, will be obese by 2035. The total cost of treating illnesses related to obesity will be an estimated of $4 trillion per year. The fact is, this prediction from the World Obesity Atlas does not have to become true. But in order to prevent it from happening, we need to change how we approach weight loss and health, because it's pretty obvious whatever the popular methods of weight loss are doing is not working. Now, here's the good news. When you lose weight and get in shape by working with human nature, it does not take that much willpower or motivation. And even better news, when you lose weight and get in shape by working with human nature, maintaining the results takes no effort at all. Because I know that sounds too good to be true, I want to just give you some testimonials and before and after pictures. Any weight loss program can provide you with before and after pictures and testimonials. So instead, what I will do is, in this video, I will explain the science behind my approach and why it works so well at helping people achieve weight loss that they can maintain effortlessly. By the end of this video, you will know why with most weight loss programs, people have such a hard time losing weight and most importantly, keeping it off. Why it is not people's fault for not being able to keep the weight off with the current methods of weight loss. Why relying on willpower and motivation for results, it's a mistake. And how working with human nature, weight loss and better health becomes effortless. And how through a simple 4-step process, you will be able to put your fitness on autopilot so you can focus on living, and a lean, healthy body is just a natural outcome. So if you're tired of being overweight and out of shape, and you're looking for a solution to your weight problem, and most importantly, a solution that you can actually live with so you can maintain the results, watch this video to the end and you will see there is a solution that you will be able to live with. If you ask most fitness professionals why people have such a hard time losing weight and getting in shape, most of them will tell you that they don't want it bad enough. If they did, they would have the motivation and willpower to do what it takes. So the question is, are people lacking the motivation and willpower to do what it takes? Or there's something wrong with the way popular methods of weight loss approach weight loss? To answer that question, we have to take a closer look at human nature and how the current methods, fitness programs actually approach weight loss. Let's start with human nature. Did you know that 95% of our day is run by a subconscious mind? In other words, habitual behaviors. The reason so much of our day is run by a subconscious mind is because our conscious mind has very limited processing power. Basically, our conscious mind can only do one thing at a time. And let me prove it to you. Can you focus on 2 ideas at the exact same time? No, you can't. You can switch from one idea to the other idea back and forth really fast, but you cannot stay focused on both ideas at the exact same time. So you see, our conscious mind can only focus on one task at a time. On the other hand, your subconscious mind can almost has unlimited processing power and can do thousands of tasks all at once. So it makes sure that your heart keeps beating, all your muscles work together so you can walk or run. It makes sure that your organs doing their job so they keep you alive, and you get the idea. Now that you know this, let's take a closer look at how most fitness programs approach weight loss. Let's start with the behaviors through which they help people lose weight and get in shape. If you ask me to describe with one word the behaviors through which most weight loss programs help people lose weight and get in shape, that word would be impractical. For example, counting calories. Who loves figuring out calories before eating anything? Not me. Do you love counting calories every time you want to eat something? You see, counting calories require ongoing mental effort. That takes away some of the enjoyment of eating, which leaves many people feeling deprived. Never mind the problem when you're eating at a restaurant that does not show calories on the menu. Counting carbs or low-carb diets like keto, Atkins, and the carnivore diet. I don't know about you, but I love my carbs. I will never give up my bread, my pasta, or my potatoes. Would you give them up? The thing that you need to realize is that when you try to eliminate carbs, you want them even more. It's in human nature to want what we can have. The moment you tell yourself that you should not have a certain food, you will find that you crave that food even more. Portioning and pre-planning all your meals. Again, this is another fun activity to do every Sunday. Who loves spending every Sunday afternoon planning and portioning their meals for the next week? Not me. I like to enjoy my weekends, not worrying about what I'm going to eat next week. Having to always plan your meals takes away some of your free time. And the other problem is, how do you know how much you truly need to eat each day? Are you doing the exact same amount of activity every single day of the week? Spending hours working out every week. I am sure there are people who love exercising and don't mind spending hours in the gym every week, but that is a very small minority. I don't know about you, but I don't live to exercise. I have better things to do with my free time than spending hours working out every week. How about you? Do you enjoy exercising that much? Unless you love exercising, too much exercising leads to burnout, regardless of the results that you achieve. You see, all these behaviors through which most weight loss programs help people lose weight and get in shape, besides being very impractical and hard to live with, they have one more very big problem. They cannot become habitual. If they cannot become habitual, that means you have to rely on the conscious mind to keep engaging those behaviors to maintain the results. Most people already have too much on their minds, and having to also constantly be thinking about their diet and exercises that they need to do is very tiresome, and it takes away from living. Remember, every minute you spend thinking about your diet or exercise program is a minute you're not focusing on something you might be enjoying more. Can you see the problem? The obvious question is, how else can you lose weight and get in shape? And the answer is the same way as people in healthy regions. Have you ever wondered how people in healthy regions are able to maintain their lean, healthy body so effortlessly? They don't follow any of the popular advice that you get from popular diets and weight loss programs, and I mean any of them. And by the way, I didn't just study healthy regions. I happen to be born and raised in a very healthy region in Greece. When I lived there in Greece in the 70s and 80s, thin was the norm. People lived long, healthy lives. I actually thought that cancer was a rare disease because I didn't know anyone who had cancer. Actually, I didn't even know anyone who knew anyone who had cancer. When I looked at other healthy regions around the world, I realized that they have more in common with how we lived and ate in Greece than what I had learned in school about fitness and nutrition. The thing was, when I lived in Greece, nobody counted calories or measured their food. We definitely did not eat a low-carb diet. We ate bread with every meal and pasta, potato, or rice pretty much every single day of the week without affecting our weight or health. Nobody went to the gym. Actually, there was no gym to go to. And yet, we maintained a strong and healthy body. Even the older people were able to maintain a strong body. So, how did we maintain our great health so effortlessly? We did not do any of the things that most weight loss experts recommend people to do in order to lose weight and improve their health. And on top of that, we hardly ever thought about our weight or health. And yet, we maintained our good health no problem at all. There are two main reasons that enable us to maintain our health so effortlessly. The first reason has to do with 3 how to eat habits that very few diets teach. These 3 eating habits make it very easy to maintain your weight and good health. I'll talk more about them in a minute. The second reason has to do with the fact that all the healthy behaviors that kept us in shape were habitual behaviors. In other words, we did not have to think to engage in those behaviors because the subconscious mind took care of them automatically. It was like our fitness program was an autopilot. Now, let's talk a little bit about those 3 how to eat habits. You see, a healthy diet is not just about what you eat, but also how and why you eat. Let me explain. I was raised on the Mediterranean diet. What I find very interesting is that for some reason, most experts that have heard talking about the Mediterranean diet only talk about what we ate or didn't eat. They left out some very important aspects of our diet, which is how we ate, which is as important as the foods that we ate. You see, there's a way to eat that allows you to eat whatever you want, literally, without affecting your weight or health. And that is what I call the how and why you eat habits. You see, in Greece, for the most part, we took regular breaks from food that were 16 hours or longer. It was drilled into our heads to make sure we were hungry at mealtime. I remember as a child, my mother would give us money to buy snacks at school. And by the way, there was no lunch period. We basically had a 10 to 15 minute break between classes. And if we got hungry, we bought snacks. There was a little store that sold snacks. Now, if it was past 12 o'clock, and even if I was hungry, I would not eat because I knew that 11:45 I would be eating lunch at home, and I wanted to make sure I was hungry for lunch. And by the way, out of 350 kids in my school, literally only 3 kids were overweight. The third how to eat habit that was part of our culture was that we ate most of our meals slowly and mindfully. We did not wolf our food down like somebody is going to take our food away. Here is the interesting thing. If you look at all healthy regions, you will find that people at each region, what they eat varies. But all the regions have these 3 how to eat habits in common. Come to find out, these 3 simple eating behaviors have a bigger impact to your weight and health than what you eat. To be honest, when I first identified these 3 healthy eating behaviors, I did not realize it myself how impactful they were. John, one of my first clients that I started applying these 3 healthy eating behaviors to, he had lost over 65 pounds and his cholesterol went from 283 down to 167. One day he came to me and confessed that he was still eating McDonald's 4 to 5 days out of the week. How can it be? Didn't Mr. Spurlock, who did the documentary Supersize Me, showed us how eating McDonald's food is very bad for our health and weight? After all, he gained 26 pounds in 1 month and ruined his health eating McDonald's for 1 month. I could not believe it myself that my client was still eating McDonald's 4 to 5 days out of the week and lost 65 pounds and greatly improved his health by simply following 3 eating habits. So I decided to do my own experiment. So in 2011, I did the same experiment as Supersize Me, but with 2 small changes. I ate the same food as Mr. Spurlock, but for 2 months, and I followed the 3 why and how to eat habits I just mentioned. So after 2 months, guess what happened to me? Nothing. My weight went down 3 pounds, and my total cholesterol actually dropped 10 points. The point of my experiment was not to say that McDonald's food is good food, because it is not good food. The point was to show how powerful these 3 how and why you eat habits really are and how they affect weight and health. The bottom line is that by developing these 3 habits, it reduces the need to be strict with what you eat, which makes weight loss infinitely easier. This experiment made me realize how important these 3 simple eating behaviors were to overall health and weight loss. Now, these 3 healthy eating behaviors have one more great benefit that none of the healthy behaviors promoted by popular weight loss methods have. They work well with human nature, and with the right approach, they can become completely habitual, which means you do not have to rely on willpower motivation to stick with them for life. What is also great about these 3 habits is that they eliminate the need to count calories and measure your food, because once you develop them, you will know instinctively when to eat and when to stop eating. So you see, in healthy regions, through our traditions, these 3 how to eat habits and other healthy behaviors were woven into our daily lives and made completely habitual. So we did not have to rely on our conscious mind to eat the right foods, to eat the right way, and for the right reasons. Basically, our fitness program was an autopilot. As you can see, one of the issues with popular methods of weight loss is that the behaviors that help people lose weight cannot become habitual. You need to rely on your conscious mind, which takes a lot of mental effort and takes away from living. Now, the one thing you need to keep in mind is that just because a healthy behavior has the potential of becoming habitual does not necessarily mean it will. So you have to take a certain approach. The way you create new habits is through repetition. If you repeat something long enough, eventually it becomes habitual, assuming, of course, it has the potential of becoming habitual. Now, what is the best way to ensure that you stick with a new behavior long enough until it becomes habitual? The best way I found is to work on changing one behavior at a time, and if the behavior is too complex, break it down into simple steps, and they are much easier to take. If you look at Kaizen, which is an ancient Asian philosophical system on how to apply change, that is the way they also recommend that you apply change. Many very successful people and companies have used Kaizen philosophy to achieve great success. Toyota is one of those companies that went from a car company going bankrupt in 1949 to one of the most successful car companies in the world. Now, if you look at the way most weight loss programs approach weight loss, they have you make all the necessary changes in your habitual behaviors all at once. The simple fact is, the more changes you make in your habitual behaviors all at once, the more discovered you will feel, and the more likely you are to burn out before the new changes become habits. The reason most weight loss programs push people to make all the necessary changes all at once is because they believe that once people see results, they'll be motivated to keep going. If that was the case, then how come 95% of the people who lose weight end up regaining the weight back? The fact is, the best results in the world will not keep most people motivated to keep going if the results were achieved through a method that is overwhelming. So, as you can see, the real problem is not the people, but the way popular methods of weight loss approach weight loss. It goes completely against human nature. Now that you understand that and what is the problem with the current methods of weight loss and why people have such a hard time losing weight and keeping it off with those programs, let's talk about a solution that works with human nature and people can actually live with. As you probably know, a building is only as strong as the foundation it sits on. If you want to build a building that would last, you first build a solid foundation on which the building can be built on. The stronger the foundation, the less you need to worry about the building collapsing due to earthquakes or the land underneath it caving in, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. If you want to build a lean and healthy body that you can maintain with little worries, it also has to be built on a solid foundation. So, how do you build a solid foundation for a lean and healthy body? To answer the question, we need to look at the basic needs of the human body. What does the body absolutely need to stay strong and healthy? Now, keep in mind, there are things that the body needs, but if it doesn't get, it can get away with not having all the time. And there's other things the body needs that if it does not get, you run into problems. I call the habits that provide the body with what it absolutely needs foundational habits because they provide the solid foundation on which a lean and healthy body can be built on. In my 30 years in the fitness industry, I've identified 4 foundational habits that make the biggest difference in people's weight and health. If you look at all healthy regions around the world, you will find that they have these 4 healthy habits in common. So, here are the 4 healthy habits that are essential to a lean and healthy body that you can maintain effortlessly. The first habit is your habitual thinking. You see, the way you think is also habitual behavior. As a matter of fact, is the most important behavior because it drives all the other behaviors. Let me explain. The way you think affects the way you feel, and the way you feel affects your behaviors. Your behaviors, as we all know, affects your health and shape. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're stuck in traffic and somebody cut in front of you and then cut in front of the other person and so on. How would you feel? Many people will get very angry and annoyed, and maybe they will press on the horn or do something worse. Now, if you knew that that person just got a call from the hospital that their wife, husband, or kid was in an accident, and they were rushing to the hospital to see them, how would you feel about the same situation now? I bet very differently. So you see, how we think makes a very big difference in how we feel. So if you try to change the behavior without first changing the way you think, it will be very hard, to say the least, to change the behavior, because your thinking is what drives the behavior. It would be like trying to bring your car to a stop by pressing the brakes but never letting go the gas pedal. As long as you keep pushing on the gas pedal, it will be very hard to stop the car, no matter how hard you press the brakes. By changing the thinking that drives the behavior first, you make it much easier to change the behavior. Also, the way you think has a big impact on stress levels. And as we all know, stress is the biggest killer. Does it make sense so far? So, the first foundational habit is to develop a healthy way of thinking that supports your fitness goals and all the changes that you need to make. Now, if you ask most fitness experts, what are the fundamentals of a healthy diet? They're most likely going to tell you about some superfood, and they would be wrong. Let me ask you a question. What is the real purpose of eating? To nourish the body. I don't think anyone can argue against that. Next question. How does the body tell you it needs nourishment? Through hunger. That is why nature put it there. When was the last time you heard about a nutritionist or a diet advise people to make sure they're hungry before eating? Never. Today, most people don't even know what true hunger feels like. They're mistaking cravings for hunger. Here's the fact. When you eat out of true hunger, even if you're eating a food that might not be as good for you, it will not have the same negative effect on your body than if you ate the same food at a time when you were not hungry. And my McDonald's experiment pretty much proved that. So, learning to eat out of true hunger is a foundational habit. Now, really quick here. I want to answer the question I get asked a lot by people when they learn the importance of eating out of true hunger. Why none of the popular diets teach this habit? And the answer comes down, unfortunately, to money. You see, all popular diet programs are owned by a food company and or sell food. The simple fact is, once you learn to eat out of true hunger, you will find that you don't need to eat that much food. And if you're selling food, it's not in your best interest for people to eat less. My average client saves $57 per week on the food bills once they develop this eating habit. So instead, the food companies who own many of the diet programs try to manipulate the calories in the food by modifying it so people can keep eating without gaining weight. The problem is, with those type of programs, it complicates the whole process of losing weight because it restricts people from all the favorite foods. Let's face it, the food does not taste as good, which leaves many people feeling deprived. Let me ask you another question. What would happen to your car if you kept driving it and never changed the oil or did any tune-ups? Eventually, it will break down and stop working. Well, the body needs a tune-up too, on a regular basis. What is great about the body is that, unlike the car, it does its own tune-ups. But in order for that to happen, you need to take a break from food. How long the break needs to be varies depending on the type of diet that you're used to eating. You see, the body is in growth mode when you're consuming food. When you stop eating for at least 12 hours, depending, of course, on what was the last thing you ate, the body goes into maintenance mode. And that is where the magic happens. The body gets rid of toxins, mutated and dysfunctional cells, which are the precancerous cells, and misfolded proteins, which are the precursors to mental diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and also becomes more efficient at burning fat. Basically, when you take a break from food, your body does its own self-tune-up. If you never take a break from eating, this does not happen, and just like a car, eventually it runs into problems. This is why taking regular breaks from food is a foundational habit for a lean and healthy body. Now, eating out of true hunger and taking breaks from food will definitely help you improve your health and lose weight, but it will not help you build and maintain a strong and functional body, especially in your later years. This is where the fourth foundational habit comes in, which is exercising, but not the way it's promoted. You see, the way most fitness professionals approach exercise is overkill. There's a difference between training to get stronger and training and maintaining a functional body, and to improving performance in the sport or training for the Olympics. Most fitness professionals train people like they're trying out for the next Olympics. And let me tell you, when you train like that, exercising can never become habitual and almost always leads to burnout. The reason exercising is important is that our muscles and cardiovascular system needs to be challenged on a regular basis in order to stay strong and functional. The good news is that if you're just looking to maintain good health and stay strong and mobile, we don't need to challenge the system that much, which makes it easy to make exercising habitual. If you want to make exercising habitual behavior, we need to deformalize it. What I mean by that is that we need to take exercising out from the gym and we need to remove the need for exercise equipment. I am not, by the way, saying that gyms or exercise equipment are bad, but all that stuff makes it very impractical and hard to make exercising a habitual behavior. When I lived in Greece, we did not have a gym or exercise equipment, and yet people stayed strong and mobile even in the later years. The secret is a few simple activities that were part of our everyday life that kept our bodies strong and healthy, and those are the activities that I focus on teaching my clients at Live Your Way Thin. These 4 fundamental habits provide the body with everything it absolutely needs to stay lean, strong, and healthy, and stay that way. Let me tell you what is possible if you incorporate these 4 foundational habits into your life. I met Emily at an event completely by chance. She happened to have a booth right next to mine, and we got talking. She had been struggling to lose weight all her life. She had tried pretty much every diet you can think of with always the same results. She would lose the weight and then she would gain it right back. We got talking about how I approach weight loss and about the foundational habits that I teach. And those habits made sense to her, so she decided to give my approach a try. The big surprise to her was not that she lost 40 pounds in less than 7 months, but how easy it was to follow these 4 healthy behaviors. You see, these 4 healthy behaviors, unlike many of the healthy behaviors through which most weight loss programs help people lose weight, like counting calories and crazy workouts, are behaviors that work well with human nature. It has been over 7 years now since she lost the weight, and she kept it off with no problem. Now, she simply lives her life, and a lean, healthy body is just the natural outcome, which is the way it's supposed to be. She can eat in any restaurant she wants, and no food is off the menu. No more counting calories or measuring everything. She instinctively knows when to eat and how much to eat. Neil had been trying to lose weight and get in shape for years with no success until he developed these 4 foundational habits and lost over 65 pounds with less effort than he thought possible. Marcy is another of my clients who came to me after struggling for years to lose weight and get in shape. She kept trying all different weight loss programs with always the same results. She would lose the weight and then she would gain it right back. After developing these 4 foundational healthy behaviors, she did not just lose 39 pounds, but unlike with the other weight loss programs that she had tried, she had an effortless time keeping the weight off. She could not believe how simple and easy the whole process was. One of the most popular comments I get from my clients is, if I knew how simple and easy the whole process was to lose weight and keep it off, I would have joined your program years ago. I'm not telling you the stories of these people to brag, by the way, but to show you what is possible when you approach weight loss and better health by incorporating into your life these behaviors and working with human nature, which is something none of the popular weight loss methods do. The fact is, it is not only possible but much easier than you think to achieve a lean, healthy body and greatly improve the quality of your life. People are used to struggling to lose weight. They think it's normal to have to starve yourself to lose weight, or having to count every calorie you eat, or have to work out until complete exhaustion. Who wants to live like that? I don't want to live like that. And Live Your Way Thin, I will show you a very different way to lose weight and get in shape. One that does not take as much effort and does not require you to give up all your favorite foods either. Now, let me explain a little bit about my coaching system and how it works. You see, you could go on the internet and learn all about these 4 foundational behaviors and all their benefits, but they will not make any difference in your life unless you make them part of your life. Like I said earlier, knowing these 4 foundational behaviors is not enough. You must also know how to incorporate them into your life in a way that they become completely habitual and not burn you out in the process. This is where a good coach can make a very big difference. You see, many people desire a lean, healthy body, but very few people achieve it. Why? There are two reasons for that. Reason number one, as I explained in this video, is following a plan that does not work with human nature. When you're working against human nature, you might get some temporary wins, but sooner or later, human nature always wins. Reason number two is the simple fact that most people let themselves down before they let somebody else down. So when you are accountable to somebody else, you're more likely to stick with whatever you need to do long enough until it becomes habitual. This is why people with coaches achieve their goals much faster and more consistently than people who do it alone. My coaching system provides people with a blueprint that works with human nature, that they can follow and achieve the weight loss that they want, and most importantly, weight loss they can maintain with minimum effort. In addition to the blueprint, we provide the support you need to make all the necessary changes in your habitual behaviors and overcome obstacles as they arise. Because trust me, obstacles will come up. The whole system is broken down into 4 steps. In step 1, I teach people how to develop a healthy way of thinking. This will help you reduce the stress and make the process of replacing your unhealthy habits with healthy ones much easier. People don't realize how much easier it is to change habits when you change your thinking first. And in this step, you will learn how to do that. You'll be surprised the results that you can achieve with very little effort when you change your thinking. You see, people think that it takes a lot of effort to lose weight and get in shape. And I don't blame them, because that's because of their past experiences with trying to lose weight. What I'm trying to tell you here is that it does not have to take that much effort. Sometimes even small amounts of effort placed where it counts the most can make a huge difference in your health and weight. The bottom line is this: by changing the way you think first, it greatly reduces the amount of effort required to change all the necessary behaviors. And unfortunately, none of the popular weight loss programs help people change the way they think. And that is why they require so much effort to change behaviors, which causes many people to burn out. In step 2, we teach people how to make exercising a habitual behavior, so no motivation or willpower is required to exercise regularly. Fitness professionals have made exercising a lot harder than it has to be. The fact is, although exercising is essential for maintaining a strong and healthy body, we don't need that much exercising. In this step, you will learn a few simple exercises that are very easy to do, and they don't require equipment, and you can do them anywhere. You will learn, and also you're gonna learn how to make them completely habitual, just like brushing your teeth in the morning. Do you need motivation or willpower to brush your teeth in the morning? Maybe in the beginning you did, but now for most people, it's a habitual behavior. In this step, you will learn how to do the same thing for your whole exercise routine. In step 3, we teach people how to eat habits. Basically, you will learn how to make completely habitual the behavior of taking regular breaks from food and eating out of true hunger, at least most of the time. You see, proper nutrition has 2 parts. Part 1 is what you eat, and part 2 is how and why you eat. What people don't realize is that by developing the right why and how to eat habits, which by the way are much easier to develop and much more practical than the what to eat habits, you don't need to be as strict with what you eat. This will allow you to keep eating all the foods that you love and still lose weight and improve your health. Most diet and weight loss programs only teach half of proper nutrition, which is what to eat. This is why they need to be very strict with what people can and cannot eat in order for them to work, and which leaves many people feeling deprived. Like I said, junk food tastes way too good to give up, and by developing the right how to eat habits, you don't have to give them up. In step 4, we teach people how to live life and keep their weight off effortlessly. You see, people who lose weight with the current methods of weight loss, in order to keep their weight off, they have to constantly be thinking about their diet and workouts, which takes a lot of ongoing effort. This is not a way to live. In this step, we teach people a much better way to maintain the results without the need to constantly be thinking about their diet or workouts. Basically, we teach them how to put the maintenance of their newfound lean and healthy body on autopilot, just like the people in healthy regions. So, how can we help people do that? Very simple. We all have a self-image. In other words, the way we see ourselves. Your subconscious mind, one of its jobs is to maintain that self-image. And it does all that automatically without your awareness. So if you lose weight, but you have not changed the way you see yourself, so you still see yourself as an overweight person, you will struggle to keep the weight off because your subconscious mind will constantly be trying to get you overweight again because that is your self-image, which the subconscious mind tries to maintain. So in step 4, we teach people how to change their self-image to a person who is lean and healthy. And this way, you will not have to keep fighting your subconscious mind. As a matter of fact, your subconscious mind will be helping you to maintain your lean and healthy body. Also, whether we like it or not, we're constantly getting bombarded by messages to eat the wrong things and to do the wrong things. This is how we end up picking up a lot of our bad habits in the first place. So in this step, besides changing your self-image, you will also learn ways to resist those negative messages and not fall victim to them. Step 4 is what makes my fitness and autopilot coaching system so effective at helping people achieve a lean, healthy body that they can maintain effortlessly. If you look at all the popular methods of weight loss, none of them help people deliberately change their self-image. They hope and pray it will happen on its own. And by the way, it does happen on its own sometimes, but rarely, which is one more reason why with most weight loss programs, people struggle to lose weight and very few are able to keep it off. Life is about living and spending most of our free time doing things we enjoy, not constantly watching our diet and spending all our free time working out so we can have a lean, healthy body. By developing these 4 foundational habits, you'll be able to do just that. My job as a coach is to provide all the necessary support until the 4 foundational behaviors are completely habitual, and then give you all the mental tools that will help you maintain those behaviors and thus the results that you will achieve through those behaviors, and you can go on your own. The way we work with our clients is a combination of in-person coaching and training sessions and our app. All the coaching and training sessions are done in a private room and with just you and the trainer. The only room we share with other people is the room that you're going to be doing your cardiovascular workout in if you choose to. In that room, you might have another person or two doing cardio, and although nothing beats one-on-one coaching in person, it's nice to have the app because the app allows you to communicate with your coach between sessions and also allows your coach to track your progress on each behavior. The main point I want you to take from this video is that losing weight and getting in shape and staying in shape is possible for everyone when you have the right system and the right support. And with the right approach, it takes a lot less effort to get in shape, and you should take no effort at all to stay in shape. If you're interested in learning more about my coaching approach and how it can help you achieve your weight loss goals in the way that you'll be able to maintain it effortlessly, schedule a free discovery session with me. During this call, I will explain my 4-step process in more details and how through this process you'll be able to put your fitness on autopilot so you can finally not just achieve the weight loss that you want, but keep it off effortlessly. And most importantly, greatly improve your health in the process. Again, I can't emphasize enough how little effort is required to lose weight and get in shape when you apply the effort where it counts the most. If you don't live locally, but you're still interested in our services, we also offer online coaching. Just make sure when you book your session, mention that you want to do your discovery call online so I can send you a Zoom link. There should be a button somewhere around the website where you can click and schedule your free discovery session. Go ahead and book your discovery session today. Looking forward to talking to you soon.